What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm gonna give some shout outs to the early birds. Let's see. Sean Lunatic, what up? Peoria in the house. Pam K. Andre Stewart, what's up? Andre in H-Town. Mason Storm. Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, you got it. You already know. Brandy Nuance. What's up, Brandy? DC in the building. Wrong way. Yeah. Big Trap. What's up, Big Trap? Yellow Man. I'm going in, fam. Going in. So let me put this pic up real quick. Let me share my screen with you. Let's see which one of these pics I want to show y'all. Let's go with this one. Him. No, not that. No, we don't want to do tabs. We want to do the window. Okay. Okay, something ain't right on his thing. Something's going on with this, with these previews. You know what? Let's just roll the dice here. Has permission to capture, fix, That ain't working. All right, let's try it another way. It's more than one way to skin a cat. Do. Let me just share this right here. Let's make sure. Okay. Let's see if y'all can see that screen right there. Let me put you on the whole screen. I want y'all to see something here. Where is it? Where is that screen? You know what, fam? It's too much problems. Look, I'm going in. So we got this guy Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins. They're on the thumbnail. So if you want to reference that picture, you can reference it that, or you can just go, do a Google search and you'll see what they look like. But they tried to tell people for months about the grueling violence that they endured at the hands of 6 white law enforcement officers in Mississippi. This culminated into Jenkins being shot in the mouth. Now, more than a year later, the men, both of whom are Black, and their attorney says that justice may finally be coming their way as the white officers who tortured them for nearly 2 hours faced sentencing. One officer who they said was particularly brutal, Christian Dedman, Christian Deadman was sentenced on Wednesday to 40 years in federal prison. I ain't got no problem with that. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Yeah, I hope that sucker do every single year. And I hope he faced the same type of humiliation and abuse that he issued out to those two men. Family, they went in and first of all, they illegally bust into the men's house, put a gun in one of their mouths, and they shot him in the mouth. They shot Eddie Parker in the mouth. They shot Eddie Parker in the mouth, and Michael Jenkins. Well, let me back up. They shot Michael Jenkins in the mouth, and Eddie Parker allegedly was sexually abused. I think that's how it went down. So they sexually assaulted the men and shot him and just beat him, and obviously called him a bunch of racial epithets. Because that's what they do. That's what uncivilized mutts do. That's what uncivilized mutts do. Let me try again to share this screen with y'all, because I want you to see these uncivilized mutts. I want you to see the uncivilized mutts. There they are. Those are the uncivilized mutts. Talk about sick. All of them pleaded guilty. Here's the article. A fourth former Mississippi sheriff's deputy has been sentenced for his part in the racist torture of two black men by a group of white officers who call themselves, check that out, fam, the Goon Squad. Christian Deadman was sentenced on Wednesday to 40 years in federal prison, hours after Daniel Opdyke was sentenced to 17 and a half years. Deadman, 29, did not look at the victims as he apologized and said he would never forgive himself for the pain he caused. All 6 of the white former officers charged in the torture pleaded guilty, admitting that they subjected Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker to numerous acts of racist torture in January 2023 after a neighbor complained that the men were staying in a home with a white woman. Federal prosecutors detailed sexual assault by Deadman that made him stand out among the other officers charged. Jenkins, who still has trouble speaking due to his issues, said in a statement read by his lawyer that Deadman's actions were the most depraved of any of those who attacked him. Deputy Deadman is the worst example of a police officer in the United States, Jenkins said. Deputy Deadman was the most aggressive, sickest, and the most wicked. I disagree. If all of them were there, all of their asses are most wicked. If all of them sat there and witnessed him do that and didn't try to intervene, didn't try to stop it, basically engaged and encouraged, they're all the most wicked. They're all the most aggressive. They are all the most sickest. Earlier Wednesday, Opdyke, 28, cried profusely as he spoke in court before the judge announced his sentence. Turning to look at the other 2 victims, he said, His isolation behind bars has given him time to reflect on how I transformed into the monster I became that night. No, you transformed into that monster from the time you was born. You uncivilized mutt. The weight of my actions and the harm I've caused will haunt me every day, Opdyke told them. I wish I could take away your suffering. Well, one way that the suffering could have been taken away is for it not to have happened in the first place, for you not have been an uncivilized mutt in the first place. Parker rested his head in his hands and closed his eyes, then stood up and left the courtroom before Opdyke finished speaking. Jenkins said he was broken and ashamed by the cruel acts visited upon him. So let me get a pic of Eddie and Mike here. I want you to pay attention over here, fam. Pay attention. Get a picture of let's see. I'm trying to find. Trying to find a better picture. I see pictures, but I'm trying to find a better picture. Here's an okay picture. Let's try this picture. Let's see. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna share this screen now. Okay, let's see. Stop that one, and let's share this picture. This is a pic of, okay, so look to the left there, family. In fact, tell you what, let's do this. So this is a picture of Michael. This is Michael Jenkins. This is the one who was shot in the mouth. If you look closely, it looked like I see some interruption in his beard right there. Maybe, I don't know if that's where the bullet wound was or came out or went in. But that's Michael Jenkins, and below him is Eddie Parker. This is Eddie Parker. Eddie Parker said that, hold on. Y'all looking at the wrong thing here. Let's remove that. Start screen share. Hold on. Eddie Parker. Okay, now we got Eddie Parker on the screen. Well, having trouble moving around here, fam. I'm to be honest, fam, I don't do this a lot, so I'm trying to really figure this out. So bear with me. Okay, I think we got it now. Okay, so here's a picture of Eddie Parker. Eddie Parker said that he forgave the man Christian Detman, Christian, what's his name? What's this uncivilized mutt name? Christian Detman, yeah. He forgave Christian Detman because, in his opinion, Christian did not do that because just because that was what was in his heart. He said Christian did not do that just because that is what was in his heart. And so he forgives him. Let me say you something, fam. Two things can be true at the same time. I can support someone and at the same time be critical of their actions. While I support Eddie Parker getting justice, he was a victim. He victimized the whole entire Black society with this apology. Fool, don't you know the reason a lot of them behave the way they behave? Because they know you got that soft, putty ass heart. They know you super soft. I wish I would forgive a sucker for torturing me. Ain't that much forgiveness in the world. Come on, man. Michael Jenkins right here. Michael Jenkins said, I don't give a damn. No, I don't forgive nothing. Mike like, no, man. Hell no. Unfazed. Want justice. Ain't no forgiveness. Retribution. That's what's up. Retribution, that's what's up. There's Eddie Jenkins. Yeah, we talking about some retribution. That's what I want. Shoved the gun in that man's mouth and fired the weapon. So he left him with serious injuries in his face, a lacerated tongue, and broken jaw. Hospitalized for 2 weeks. There was a picture. I had a picture earlier of, that's him post-surgery. That's when he was in the hospital. It's Michael Jenkins after he got shot in the mouth by a Mississippi police officer. This is Eddie Parker, also a victim, but also the type of Black that the uncivilized mutts in law enforcement love to death. They love this type of Black man. I forgive you. This dude tortured you and sexually assaulted you and you forgive him? I want retribution. Ain't no forgiveness. I'm still waiting to hear somebody else that's been violated by a Black person say, I forgive you. I forgive them. I forgive you. Better off not saying nothing than to say I forgive you. Man, just don't say nothing. You sound like a sucker. I don't know what kind of religion he practiced, if he does at all, but I don't want it. I don't want no religion that calls me, that make me want to forgive an enemy that does something like that. It ain't even got to be done to me. It can be done to somebody I love. You know what? It ain't even got to be done to somebody I love. It can just be done to an innocent person. And I'm like, off with his head. Ain't no forgiveness, man. Hell as you mean, I forgive you. Let me show you this uncivilized mutt, Christian Deadman. Hopefully, Christian ends up being a dead man in prison. Hopefully, for the sake of civilized society, he dies in prison. 40-year sentence, federal, that's a pretty good time. That's some good time right there. Let's see how old this sucker is. For the sake of society, let's hope he's up there in age. It's getting what he's actually not though, because I think I saw something earlier showing that he was maybe in his late 20s or 30s. Let's see, where is it? Let me see. Christian Detman. Where is this sucker? Trying to find the age. You know what? Let me just let's do this right quick. 29. So as all things work out, he'll be 69, but that's if he did every single year, which fair time, I think you get 11 months for each year, or 10 months or something, I can't remember. But he'll probably, if he did everything, did all the time, and he survived, probably get out around 67. That ain't bad, ain't not too bad. 67, 66, 66, something up, somewhere up in there. But yeah, these type of uncivilized mutts, they got to go. It's no hope for them. There's no hope for an uncivilized mutt like this guy. This is him here. Let me see if we can get a better look at him. That's him right there. Actually, this is not Christian Deadman. This is that other uncivilized mutt, his partner. Let me see if I got a better pick. See that, fam? If I wasn't on my game, I would have been like, yep, that's him. But this is him here. This is this uncivilized mutt. That's him right there. Christian Deadman. Oh, wait a minute. I thought y'all could see that. Let's change that. Christian Deadman. We're going to change that pic. Slides, extra camera. Stop. Let's move along. Share screen. Christian Deadman. I think this is it. Yeah, here we go. That's him. That's the uncivilized mutt that did the that they say was the worst, was particularly wicked and sick. Now, I say all of them were wicked and sick. All of them. Because there's no way possible that I would be part of something like that. If I had a sick, wicked partner that moved like that, I would shut it down. See, when you're dealing with the wicked, and they named their squad the Goon Squad. Now, here's the deal, fam. Here's the deal. If they had a whole outfit called the Goon Squad, What do you think the chances are that they have wives or girlfriends or other family members who knew that they had that so-called clique or club called the Goon Squad? What do you think the chances are that that Goon Squad is even larger than those who were in the room that day, who were in that house that day? What do you think is more members of the Goon Squad? What do you think the chances are that there's more members of the Goon Squad on the police force? I want to look up something right quick. Goon Squad Police Department. Let's see. Let's see which one they work for. Mississippi's officer. Let's see. 2 former law enforcement officers who were part of a self-styled goon squad that tortured, sexually assaulted, and beat residents of Mississippi. See, they didn't just do that to them. They tortured, sexually assaulted, and beat residents of Mississippi County. The whole county, people in the whole county, all throughout the county. These uncivilized mutts were roaming, beating, sexually assaulting. And you know they were stealing too, because that's what they do, and killing. A federal judge ordered Hunter Elwood, who shot one of the victims in the mouth, to serve 20 years in prison. Jeffrey Middleton, a former lieutenant who supervised the Goon Squad, was sentenced to nearly 18 years. Elwood broke down in tears as he turned to face Eddie Parker, 36, and Michael Jenkins, 33, and apologized for what he had done to them. I hate that I was involved in this. I know you do, sucker. You didn't hate it when you was involved in it, though. You hate it. You hate that you was involved in it because y'all got caught and you faced your day of reckoning. I hate what happened to them. No, you didn't. You sat there for two hours. You had time to reflect. You had time to catch a snap for 2 hours, and you was cool with it. And then you had Eddie Edwards. I mean, not Eddie Edwards. You had Eddie Parker, who stood up and and forgave him. This dude said if he wouldn't have gotten caught, he would still be doing the same things. The same thing. This is what Michael Jenkins said. Michael Jenkins wasn't having it. He's like, I don't forgive that punk. So they got 4 down, 2 to go. All of them pled guilty this summer to federal civil rights offenses. And the only reason they pled guilty, fam, is because they were caught on camera. That's the only reason they pled guilty. The evidence was indisputable. You know how hard it is to bring a police officer to justice when they prey on members of society? So they preyed on the residents in the impoverished pockets of Rankin County. This is what they did. They went in and they preyed on those people in Rankin County who didn't have resources to protect themselves or to fight back or even bring them to justice. But this time, they slipped up and they got caught. Family, I want y'all to understand what's happening here. Last November, the New York Times and Mississippi Today published an investigation revealing that for nearly 2 decades, deputies in the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, many of whom called themselves the Goon Squad, would barge into homes in the middle of the night, handcuff people, and torture them for information or confessions. Now, that's just what they have on record. If they were barging into homes in the middle of the night, handcuffing people and torturing them for information and confessions, then you know they were also barging into homes, sexually assaulting people, and robbing them, because that's what they do. They claim that they were in pursuit of drug arrest. So they've been accused of ramming a stick down one man's throat until he vomited, dripped metal onto another man's skin, and held people down and beat them until they were bloody and bruised. This is according to dozens of people who said they had witnessed or experienced the raids. What I don't understand, fam, is where is the get back? Look, man, I got it. They the big bad police, but I'm gonna tell you something. I don't give a damn who you is. You try to handle me like that, I'm gonna give you everything you're looking for. I don't give a damn, man. You're not finna violate me like that. You're not finna just do my people like that. I don't give a damn. Ain't no badge in this country. They can't go make one right now that's going to protect you from retribution. A lot of people who said they had experienced violence from these uncivilized mutts filed lawsuits or formal complaints detailing their encounters. A few said that they had contacted Sheriff Brian Bailey, the sheriff, the head honcho, only to be ignored. Of course he's going to ignore them. He the sheriff, you know he know what's going down. These are his minions, his hitters. They still, this clown is still facing calls to resign. Calls to resign. Man, this is one of them situations where somehow, some way, this fool just don't show up to work. Understand what I'm saying happened here, fam. These uncivilized mutts handcuffed and tortured these dudes by shocking them repeatedly with tasers, beating them, and sexually assaulting them with a sex toy. And then you had one of the uncivilized mutts put his gun in the mouth of one of the guys and shot him, shattering his jaw and nearly killing him. Michael Jenkins said they tried to take his manhood away from him. See, that's what it really was about. The uncivilized mutts destroyed evidence, and to justify the shooting, falsely claimed that Michael Jenkins had pointed a BB gun at them. This is a culture, fam. It was not a culture. It is a culture. And it's not just happening in Mississippi. It's happening all over the United States. They just got caught. It's just their time to get caught. The deputies under supervision carried out commemorative coins printed with the words Goon Squad. Early versions of the coin had an image of a Confederate flag on one side and a noose on the other side. The prosecutor also said that the deputies had repeatedly shot Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Parker with their tasers as if they were playing taser hot potato, competing to see who could inflict the most damage. The uncivilized mutt who goes by the name of Middleton apologized to the victims and his community, saying, "I have failed every law enforcement officer in the United States because my actions have tarnished the badge." I failed because my actions have tarnished the badge. Let me tell you something, fam. The badge has been tarnished. They don't care nothing about their reputation. If they did, you wouldn't be able to look up every police department in the United States and see a 1.5 or a 2.5 rating. Their ratings are worse than any other sector of society, any industry in all of society. They have the absolute worst rating. And they are in control of people's lives. They have the authority to affect people's lives. They have the authority to affect people's lives. And these uncivilized mutts all over the United States, it's not just Mississippi, all over the United States, these uncivilized mutts operate and hide behind the badge. First, they step in front of the badge when they want to violate somebody's civil rights, or when they're standing, when they're so-called standing 10 toes down for the good work that law enforcement does. Proud. But then when they violate people's rights, they hide behind the badge. And they're protected by these unions that are ran by uncivilized mutts and lawyers who defend uncivilized mutt lawyers who defend these uncivilized mutts. Again, fam, why in the hell would you apologize? What in your mind? Who raised you to forgive somebody who would sexually assault you? Who raised you, so-called man, to forgive somebody who would torture you? I don't think I've ever heard anybody outside of Black people say stupid shit like that. I forgive you. I forgive them. Some of them forgive them before they even get caught. Before they even put the cuffs on them, they forgive it. So in fact, while they're committing the assault, while they're committing the murder, while they're violating them, in the midst of violating them, I forgive you, I know I'm finna die, I forgive you. The hell wrong with y'all? And don't give me no stuff about, no, you forgive for you, not for them. I ain't forgiving nothing. And I'm going to be good. I'm going to go on and do great things. It ain't going to stop me from sleeping good at night. I want retribution. I wish I would let a sucker violate me in any kind of way and forgive them. Let alone sexual assault, shooting, somebody busting bullets through your skin, and you talking about I forgive them. Somebody that killed your child, killed your brother, and your dumb ass talking about I forgive them. I know sometimes when these black folks be forgiving people who violate them, I know they be like, oh, wow, I can't believe it. They actually forgiving me for doing that? I would have never forgave them. I would have been there. Fam, you got people who have the wrong black person on death row, the wrong black person in jail. And that black person ain't been convicted by evidence. That black person has been convicted by circumstantial evidence or somebody lying. Somebody just lying. And those people will show up at every parole hearing. He can't go. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. Remember the Central Park Five? Remember? That woman swore up and down that, and she identified those boys. Swore up and down that they raped her. Swore up and down in the court of law. Yeah, him pointing them out. And ain't apologized yet. She wanted retribution for something that they didn't even do. I ain't forgiving nothing. And if somebody looking for my help, if somebody is asked for my help in any type of capacity, and they start, if they've been violated, and they start that I forgive them stuff, I'm done. Right then and there, I'm out. Call me when you want to fight. Call me when you're ready to go all out. Give me a call. You want justice, I want justice. I'm like the dude that you call when it's something that need to be done. It's a job that need to be done. Don't call me unless you for real with it. Because once you call me, it's too late. Once I put my name on it, it's too late. It's too late. I'm going all in. Forgive. I forgive him. I forgive him. I forgive him. One time I called this dude out who was on that forgiveness thing. Some dude, this dude had violated this black dude who was trying to film some stuff by I think it was a restaurant or something, and this Asian dude was telling him he wasn't supposed to be over there in the area. You know, the Asian dude pulled a Karen on him. So he was just really respectful of the Asian dude the whole time while he was But he was telling the agent dude, look, I'm supposed to be here. I mean, he stood his ground, right? He stood his ground. And he was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here, whatever, whatever. And, you know, he wouldn't leave. So, but then all that was good. But then he forgave the dude. So I called him out about it. And he had more vitriol for me than he had for the agent dude who violated him. He was talking real tough. He was online talking tough. Like talking real tough, like saying stuff that, you know, he wouldn't say to my face, but just talking real tough online, just real tough. But he didn't have none of that smoke for the agent. He didn't have that type of smoke for the Asian dude. He was just trying to get through the day with the Asian dude. But when it came to me, he had all kind of smoke. And I already know that if it go down for real, he ain't gonna get you like I'm gonna get you. He ain't gonna do to you what I do to you. But he had all the smoke for the brother. All the smoke in the world for the brother. That is absolutely amazing to me how some Black people are quick to forgive others, will have grace for others, but not for their own kind. I mean, they got all the smoke for their own. It is absolutely amazing. Talk about Stockholm Syndrome. Talk about brainwashing. Talk about being programmed. I don't even know how they do it. You got one life to live. Why not just live it standing on something? Why not just seem like to me that just seemed like the natural thing to do. Like, I feel like a sucker to live any other type of way. I'd rather die like a soldier than to live like a bitch. Going into the comments. Johnny Clark, what up? To Want a Chance, what it do? Victoria Afro. Was that Ebion Knight? Johnny Clark. What up, Johnny Clark? Torrance Ford. What's up, Torrance? The Black Zionist. What's up, TBZ? Internationally known. I see you. What's up, Brandy Nuance? Tal, Art Leah, Randy Caldwell Sr. Hurricane Camille. What's up, Hurricane Camille? Leslie Bruce. Malcolm Taylor. What up? Mama Deb. The fundraiser. You dig? Real talk. Shermaine Callahan. Is that Malaki Ben Yisrael? Why didn't he talk about a black hate crime bill or reparations? Why was his priority forgiving white Klansmen who shove utensils up his? Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't get it either. I do not get it. I do not get it. All I can say is that I wasn't raised like that. I was not raised like that. I do not get down like that at all. I'm not with that. I'm not with none of that. Violate me of mine, and hey, and you get whatever you was looking for. Think about it, people. Think about it, family. A lot of us don't do things because, first of all, we're not even wired. Our brains don't even think that way to violate people in that type of manner. But other things that we don't do because we know that there are circumstances, there are situations and circumstances that lead to severe punishment. For example, it's not that we're scared when we're driving, but a lot of us exercise severe caution when driving and restraint when dealing with other drivers, because we know that there are uncivilized mutts out there on that road that don't have no understanding. And road rage can end in death. We've seen it happen too many times. Man, you ain't got no idea what that person in that other car is dealing with. You don't know who you dealing with at all. Sometimes people who know each other overplay their hand and end up getting shot by people that they know, stabbed by people they know, killed by people they know. So imagine just driving down the street and some fool is honking their horn, throwing up the sign. You don't know who this, you ain't got no idea who you dealing with. And you might have a gun too. You might be waving your gun, but just because you got a gun don't mean you're going to win the gun battle. Just because you got the gun don't mean you're going to get the ups. Don't mean you're going to get the first shot off. Don't mean even if you do get the first shot off that you're going to be effective, that your shot going to be the one that neutralizes the threat. So a lot of us, we don't even engage, we don't even participate in that stuff because we know what it can lead to. It's consequences for your actions. But when you're dealing with members of law enforcement, oftentimes they have no consequences for their actions. They have to do something really, really, really outstandingly egregious that gets out there, and even if they do something like that, it still has to take on some legs. You got to get people behind it and people who want to see justice. Because they do egregious stuff all the time. They murder people all the time. They steal, they rob, they sexually assault people all the time and get away with it. But this is why they do it, because they see their other fellow officers getting away with it, and they themselves have gotten away with stuff like that. So they continue to do it because they ain't being prosecuted. They're not being held accountable. And they're the first ones to scream accountability. Ain't that something? The ones who have no accountability, who show no accountability, who show no propensity to be held accountable, hold themselves accountable, are the main ones who oftentimes scream accountability. So If they're not being punished for violating people and not discriminating, but beating on people and killing people and sexually assaulting people and robbing people, if they're not being held accountable, what's the incentive to stop? How many times have you walked in the bank and you thought to yourself, that's a lot of money, boy. I wish I could just take it and walk out the door. Now, some of y'all might not have that thought, but I think if you were honest, most of you would say, yeah, I thought about it a time or two. But you won't do it because you know what the penalty is. You know you're going to get punished. That's the only reason why you won't do it, because you know you're going to get punished. These uncivilized mutts are not being punished. For 20 years, they ran this goon squad. 20 years. That's why they were so comfortable doing what they were doing. For 2 hours, they're out of pocket. Who was supposed to be checking up on them for 2 hours? They're at one house for 2 hours. What about their superiors? Somebody should say, well, where are you? What should be? What, that seems strange that they're there at that house for just 2 hours. Same 6 police officers just sitting up in the house for 2 hours. That don't sound strange to y'all? What up, coach? I'm not forgiving nothing, man. Regular forgiveness, maybe you said something you wasn't supposed to say, spoke to me a different way. Maybe you did something inadvertently that caused me some type of anxiety or frustration, maybe some pain. And maybe some of those things you can think about forgiving. But we ain't forgiving sexual assault. We ain't forgiving shooting, stabbing. We're not forgiving none of that. We ain't forgiving gross violations. We ain't forgiving that. You can go somewhere else with that. And I'm fine. I'm fine with anybody who got a problem with it, including God. Buckhorse DC, what up? What's up, Leslie Bruce? That's right, a pack of wild animals. It's amazing how the uncivilized mutts roam the communities and terrorize everybody and look down on the people who are impoverished, look down on the people who live in the hoods throughout America. They look down on them and call them animals, but the truth is, they're the animals. That's why I tell y'all a lot, fam. When it comes to certain people, especially in politics, the way that you know how they are and who they are and what they're doing is what they accuse others of doing, who they accuse others of being. That's who they are. What they accuse others of doing, that's what they're doing, and that's what they did. Appreciate y'all joining the live, fam. Until next time, no more talk.